Hello, welcome to SquishiVision, where I am about to react to Mufasa, which kind of came out of nowhere. Also, I am experimenting with again doing this both in a horizontal, normal widescreen format and also a vertical format. So you might be watching it on either. What was I about to say? So yeah, this film kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't even know they were making it. Maybe I did, and I kind of forgot. It's kind of funny. It seems to be explicitly a prequel. I mean, it's a prequel to The Lion King, but it seems explicitly to be a prequel to the 2019 3D remake of The Lion King, like the John Favreau shot for shot one. The one which I had no problem with. Um, I enjoyed it for what it was, a shot for shot remake of The Lion King, but using photorealistic CGI. And I mean, I think that's pretty cool. I wasn't expecting to be like blown away or anything. I'm like, well, I know the story, I know what's gonna happen, but this is pretty neat. So yeah, but I mean, it was much malaligned by pretty much everyone for being what is basically a cash sellout, and I can't deny it. It pretty much is a cash sellout. So credit's due. It's not as criticism is unwarranted. So it's kind of surprising that they're making this prequel to that, which is also photorealistic. And I guess the question is it going to be photorealistic to the point people are going to hate it? Because I think people didn't like the fact that they couldn't emotionally connect with a cat who was expressing like, or I guess a lion who was expressing like a lion. I never got that. Maybe it's because um, I own a cat, and just by looking at her face, I know what she's thinking. Or indeed, this cat, I know what they're thinking by looking at their face. I feel like if you know cats well enough, you're able to recognize their emotional state by their body language and their face and everything. So I was like, oh, Simba's sad, and Lily just stepped on my pedal and started playing the trailer. I think she doesn't want me to talk about her anymore, which is fair enough. I didn't have that issue, but those people did. I actually don't want them to go back on that. I don't want them to go back and have a very overly emotive, photorealistic lion. I think that would actually take me out of it. Why is this complaining that my keyframe frequency is more than 4? It's 0. It's not more than 4. I think you're just being a silly bee. So yeah, we'll give this trailer a watch and see what we think. And then I need to have breakfast. I need to react to Tales of the Empire. And then I need to do some flight sim because I promised I was doing some flight sim today. Before sunset. And I've realised it's now almost 1 o'clock. But to be fair, I was asleep because I was exhausted. Anyway, let's give us a gander, shall we? Oh, now you don't play.
This story begins far beyond the mountains and the shadows. On the other side of the light. A lion was born without a drop of nobility in his blood. A lion who would change our lives forever. Mufasa.
Oh, so it's not John Favreau.
The earth will shake. destiny awaits you.
Mm. The animals do seem a bit more emotive, so maybe they have done that. Oh my god, can you cats like just chill for like 5 minutes? Kind of get the stuff, can you? Yeah, I do think they've made it a bit more emotive. I also think the CGI seems a bit lesser, but that might just be me. Who is Barry Jenkins? Then again, I don't like to judge things like the visual quality before a release because it's often in work. But also, this is a film that's primary selling point is visual appeal. Jerry Jenkins, he did Moonlight. Okay, so he did Moonlight. That's what he won his Oscar for. Dear White People, one of the episodes of Dear White People. So he's a prominent black director, and I think one of the good things about The Lion King, the remake, is that they're very much kind of putting black voice actors at the forefront, which is kind of what you want. So I guess should we talk about the cast real quick? So you've got English actor Aaron Pierre as a younger Mufasa. He's relatively green. He is 29 years. He's the same age as me, Moral. Well, he'll be 13 June. He's a year older than me. This is his fourth film. He's in a bunch of TV in various kind of roles. Relatively new actor. You got Kelvin Harrison Jr. as Scar. It says someone edited Wikipedia. It just says this used to say him as Taka, and now I've changed to Scar. And I guess because that's Taka. That's the name of Scar before he got called Scar. But I don't know how canon that is. And I guess maybe someone was like assuming. Interestingly, you've got English actor Aaron Pierre play Mufasa, historically voiced by I'm blanking on the name. James Earl Jones, who is an American actor. And then you have Scar, historically voiced by British actor Jeremy Irons. And in the first remake, also voiced by Chiwetel Ejiofor. I don't know how to pronounce his surname.
Chiwetel Umadi Ejiofor.
Chiwetel Ejiofor, voiced for him in the 2019 film, and Ejiofor is a British actor, whilst Kelvin Harrison is an American actor. It's kind of interesting they swap that around. He has a bit more of a history or a bit more of a backlog. He was in 12 Years a Slave, but in a kind of very minor role. Nothing else that I kind of recognize for this film. Bunch of TV stuff, but like guest appearances, nothing that he seems to be. Oh, he's in the main role. Interestingly, Kelvin Harrison Jr. has played Martin Luther King Jr. and Pierre has played Malcolm X in different TV things. Seth Rogen and Billy Eichner reprised their roles as Pumbaa, Timon and Pumbaa, in what I assume would be the framing device of this film, where we start in the present and then flashback. I think actually that is what is happening, because we have David Glover. Returning as Simba, and Beyonce Knowles Carter returning as Nala, and then we have Blue Ivy Carter, who I assume is the daughter of Beyonce, voicing Kiara, Simba Nala's daughter. So I assume there's a filming device where Kiara's like, tell us the history of your granddad before you were even born, and they're like, well, we can't tell you that, and then they assume they turn to John Canny as Rafiki, and he's like, yeah, I'll tell you how I met your father, and then he will then be voiced by Kagezo Lajija, who also has a very small, so he's a South African Swana comedian, so keeping with the same kind of area of the world, but he has only been acting for the last, since 20. He had a role he's been in a few things between 2016 and 2017, and then nothing much because of COVID until this. Tiffany Boone takes over as Sarabi, from Alfred Woodard. So presumably we don't see a modern day Sarabi, and Tiffany Boone has a very also another small. She was in Once Upon a Time, nothing in a bit role, nothing else in a smaller role as young Ursula, nothing else that I kind of recognise her from. Preston Nyman is playing Zazu, taking over from what's his name? John Oliver. Preston Newman is new enough to acting that he hasn't got a computer article, so don't know what he's been. He's an English actor, so at least let's stick with that. But he doesn't even have anything on IMDb. Oh, hang on, wait, no, I lie. I was on the wrong page. He has a very small kind of credit list. He's been in a bunch of like British TV. Miles Mickelson is playing Kairos, who I assume is a new character and probably the antagonist of this film. Fandy Newton is playing Eshi, Scar's mother, and Mufasa's adopted mother. So this film is, and I don't know if animated Lion King canon suggests this. Nothing that I can recall, I think. So this implies that Mufasa is an orphan and Scar isn't his biological brother, which I don't think has been an element of previous versions of this canon. And then Lenny James is Abasi, who is their adopted parents, and I don't actually know what he's from. He's got a much more kind of longer filmography. We have Keith David as Mazigo, Muffa's biological father, so I assume we see them in the film and then they get Disneyed off and killed. And same with his mother, Annika Noni Rose as Afia, who previously voiced Tiana in Princess and the Frog, which I haven't seen. So that's the lay of the land about cast. Let's go back into this. A lot of snow places. Obviously, I know Africa has snow in it. I guess they got trying to go for a different kind of like selling here. I guess this looks photorealistic. This kind of less so. I mean, the environment does. The animals a bit less. But I guess that's the same with the previous 2019 film too.
This story begins far beyond the mountains and the sharp.
So I think that's probably John Candy voicing an older Rafiki.
On the other side of the light.
I'm so used to the cartoony way that Rafiki peers that I can't actually tell which one of these is meant to be Rafiki. War River. And here we go back to like, I mean, I don't recognize Pride Rock, but we go back to that kind of area. But less grassy.
A lion was born without a drop of nobility in his blood.
Okay, so that's interesting. So are we suggesting that Scar's family is noble? Sorry, yeah. Are we suggesting that Scar's family is of noble blood, and that somehow Mufasa gets inherited from rather than Scar? That would explain the conflict, but it kind of, that for me doesn't interest me as a conflict, because like, it's like it makes it not that Scar will be justified in any setting to kill his brother, but I feel like if you add a tragic reasoning to humanize Scar, rather than this being like he grew bitter of not being in charge, felt he could do better, and decided to like do what he did, I think has a bit more. It's more Shakespearean. Whereas here it's like, I mean, they're lions. Of course, he's gonna be threatened by his outsider. I don't really like that. I mean, we'll see how film executes it. I'm not particularly fond of that as a kind of concept. This seems a bit emotive for me. This seems like the reactionary kind of move to make The Lion King, to make the animals a bit more relatable. But it's also a distorted face in a distorted face in a droplet. So maybe I am just being pedantic and nitpicky.
A lion who would change our lives forever.
This shot here looks fairly photorealistic, and it kind of loses it around here. So now I'm watching it, I think this is very much like the 2019 film in that it's photorealistic, but they're not necessarily doing things. All the camera movements, I feel like if they shot it in a way where it looked like it was film for a niche documentary and not digital, it'd be much more immersive. Were there many crocodiles in the original Lion King? And I guess this is like, hey, we're going to allude to the wilderbeast stampede, but now it's small elephants. What river?
Earth will shake.
I'm not coming to turn on the tap, river.
Destiny.
Do you get it? Do you get it? It's a circle of life. It's a circle of life. It's a circle of life. Do you get it?
Awaits you.
So I wonder how kind of like, is it going to be like a Lion King-esque kind of time jump where we see Mufasa as a baby and then as he gradually grows? I assume so, because they're casting relatively like adult actors in the voice roles. So there might be like a baby version of these characters who we see in a very kind of minor way. So this is interesting because this is obviously Timon and Pumbaa, but I assume this is not in the flashback sequence. But it seems pretty like action paced to be in the main narrative of the show, of the film. I don't know. I can't obviously tell these lines apart, which is, I guess, part of the issue here. But then does that suggest that Timon and Pumbaa had a role to play in Mufasa's life? Because that kind of goes against what they seem to be pretty new to the whole game when we see them, but it might be really retrospectively involved, so who knows? I mean, what was Lion King 2.5? Was that them being involved in like Okay, well, okay. To the film's credit, I've just remembered about Lion King and a half. The whole premise of Lion King 1.5, the whole premise of that film was that they were actually uh, involved in the events of Lion King 1, but like the side you didn't see. So fine, if that's the way they're going about this, then I guess credit where credit's due. Like, this is a weird shot. It's just the nature of enough motion in the cat's face and the focal difference between the lion and the background. It doesn't make it just makes it makes it a composite that looks composite-y, but to be fair, you can do real shots real life and the composites look composite-y. So well, that is Mufasa Lion King. My reaction to it. I want to go and eat breakfast, watch Tales of the Empire, at least first three episodes of, and then do some flight simming. So I'm gonna bounce because that's more important to me right now. So I will see you all in a bit when I guess, do a reaction video to Tales of the Empire. Okay, goodbye. I love you all.